Assalamu alaikum, hi Oracle, Reiki, spiritual healer. And today I'm talking about Minister Louis Farrakhan and Khadijah Farrakhan, his wife. So I found out, during my last cover of the minister that he and his wife had been married since 1953. So that is a very long time, or at least that's what the internet says about them. So, I was thinking that the risk, the wealth and the abundance in this relationship, has lasted, over 50 years. And that's a beautiful thing. And that is what we want in our lives, to attract our better halves for the long term, not just because of looks, not just because of money. I understand that we want somebody that is going to, look good or look normal, but, it should not be to a point where, that's all that we're looking for in a relationship. They got to have a pretty face, because usually that kind of relationship doesn't last that long. And as I'm talking about, the minister and his wife Khadijah, Minister Louis Farrakhan and Khadijah Farrakhan, they have withstood the test of time. And the reason that we cannot manifest the kind of risk in our lives, because the older generation had a better connection with God. They had a better connection with God in their relationships, in their dealings in society. They had a better relationship with God. And that is what we're missing. We're missing that connection with God, because we're approaching people based on if they 6 feet, or, how well they can perform in bed. We're choosing people, we're manifesting in our lives the negative because of the way that we're choosing. It's not just based on the love. It's based on, how a person look, in this bathing suit. So we have to get back to, understanding that we want somebody in our lives that's going to care, that's going to be there, that's going to, be there and fulfilling in our lives for the long term. And that is manifesting, the wealth and abundance, the attraction into our lives when we look at what we want to attract objectively. So, I like to, really just let men and women know that it really matters how you're thinking. Again, how your character is, but more importantly, what is your connection with God? Does this person pray? Are you guys, the same? Are you in Islam? I've been seeing the Islam, mingles, social media. I've been seeing that, the mingles. I've been seeing it on social media, and that's a great thing. But it still boils down to, does this person have character? Does this person, respect, you and your family, by being able to go to your family, by him being able to take you to his family? If you're not a decent, respectable person, then that means that your character, your connection has been broken with the Most High, and you're going to have to work hard to regain that. You're going to attract what you want in your life, to break the negative energy. You're going to have to really establish that connection with God, so that he can send you the person in your life that you want. So, again, I love to see couples thrive for years and years, my parents were together for 30 years or more, until, my mother passed. And those are some of the things that I based a lot of my relationships on. Just the risk, the abundance of what we can conquer together, what we can do together. And even if it didn't work, a lot of times it won't work, because we have to be willing to say, okay, if I'm serving God, if my character is in order, but my person that I'm with is not serving God, then that means, in Christian terms, that means that you're unequally yoked. And so things may not work out, but we have to be very open mind, and I like to hear the minister talk about his wife. I like to hear him because, he can get funny. He has a sense of humor. And his wife looks bashful when he's talking about her and their relationship. And we should be humble enough, just to admit that, we're not manifesting what we want in our lives because of the broken connection that we have to God. And that boils down, that's what it all boils down to. And so we're going to, reestablish that by praying. We're going to reestablish that by being good to our parents, and I just like to, the risk, and the Islamic word, and I keep saying that, the risk is the wealth, the abundance that we're attracting into our relationship. We have to call the Rizq in Islam or Christianity. We have to attract what we want in our lives, because without attracting the character, the abundance, the wealth that is God-given, a God-given connection, then we are failing ourselves. We are missing, we're going to miss out in life. We're going to miss the point that if we are connected to God, if the person in our lives is connected with God, the way that we are, the praise, we're praying over the house, we're praying over each other, we're blessing each other, we're blessing the community. And that's what I mean by charity starts at home and goes abroad. When you're in that kind of relationship where both people are connected with God, like Minister Louis Farrakhan and his wife Khadijah, then you're going to be able to not only have blessings in your house, but you're going to be able to bless other people and bless the community that you're in. So these are the ways that I like to, teach people to manifest in their life, by speaking that this is what you want, having that connection to God, letting God know what you want in your life. And putting yourself, getting your character together, making sure that you're ready for the person to come into your life, to have a long-lasting relationship. I really like to see the older generations, the new generations, my generations getting married and staying together. And it's about the compromise inside the home, but it's about the connection with God all the time. Are you coming into the relationship with the character of, you believe in God, you believe in Christianity, and are you standing on that? Are you standing on that in your character when I'm not looking at you? Or are you just pretending that I'm a spiritual person, I'm a religious person in your face, but I'm really a demonic person behind closed doors? I'm really just a narcissist that want to control you and how you move so you don't outshine me. So when you're in a relationship, you shouldn't even have to be worried about whether a person is going to outshine you, because what God has given and put in you is going to show up in the relationship. The dominant party is going to show up in the relationship. And for you men, if you're allowing your woman to be the dominant one, to go to work, to, to do the things that you're supposed to be doing inside of the relationship. And I'm talking about inside of the marriage, not boyfriend and girlfriend, because, that's superficial. That's not real. That's not tangible. And it's going to end miserably if it's a boyfriend and girlfriend relationship. So let us make sure that we're putting ourselves in the right character, that we're putting the family first in the right character to